You got the switch.
I got the switch. Good morning, Nancy.
Yes. Good morning. Scott's got the switch, so he
I
can
got the
turn us on
switch.
and off.
I clicked live. What the heck? Let's go for this.
I mean,
Nancy's talking about ley lines behind the scenes. More energy.
yes. Jazzy Sophie, I'm so glad you did make it. Yeah, I'm doing 9 candles on the ley lines. It started last night with Dorothy Morgan. It will go through Saturday, and there's a bunch of readers a couple of people you may not be that familiar with, but it all started a couple weeks ago. And if you go to watch them, they're going to be premiering on my channel. So if you go to Nancy Jean's Garden and subscribe, you'll get a notification about when they're
And
on at
subscribe. You'll see
6
the lovely
p.m.
9 candles and experience
Right.
9
And
other
we're
lovely.
talking about earth energies and how to use them and how we're coming up to a very important date on the 22nd, whether you watch my 9 candles or not. We're going through the equinox, and on the equinoxes, the 2 equinoxes we have, and then the 2 solstices we have, the summer and the winter, the ley lines on the earth go straight, and they're energetic lines, and they're not like lines you find on the road, but anyway, they move back and forth. And this is a really magic time when the earth, 4 times a year, the earth kind of stops its own energetic flow and gets everything in order, and then it moves and it goes back into its normal cycles. So it's kind of a time for us to do the same if we tie ourselves to the earth energies. And so for all you people who want to get rid of the darkness and the hideous people around you and stuff, this is the time to go in and focus on what would make your life positive, what would make your life good. So that's the end of it.
Wonderful. And who was your last guest? I watched it, but I forgot her name.
Yesterday
Nancy?
was
Or
Dorothy
no,
Morgan.
Dorothy. Yeah, Dorothy.
Dorothy
Yeah.
Morgan. I always start with Dorothy, an astrologer, because she's the first person I ever met in the YouTube world. And she's wonderful, and she's really good about timelines. And what I like about Dorothy's astrology, I love the people who do political astrology. I think it's wonderful. But Dorothy is your astrology. How does it affect you as an individual? And I think that's where astrology can really become the most potent for each and every one of us in our own life. And tonight is your friend and mine, Danny
Danny Shay.
Shay. And
Oh, nice.
we're going to talk about spiritual journeys. We're going to talk about the elementals that have called me into doing this. And then we've got Sheila and Andrea and Kim Copeland, Dr. Gail, Kelly from Dozen Cats. And then if we work it out, I'll have Johan, who actually repairs ley lines and ties them to the stars, which is where they're supposed to be tied to. He works out of South Africa, so timing with him is a bit rough. And then Kim Carey from Intuitive View is going to come close it up. So
cool. Good lineup.
So the gang's all here. And then you're going to get to hear a whole lot about it, because apparently this is my latest mission. I'm like poor Dr. Gail. She just wakes up morning and they say, guess what? The spiritual world has changed your entire projection.
I like slow mode. I don't want drastic changes.
I wasn't looking for this one, Scott. I thought my biggest drastic change this year was going to be coming on with you.
Oh, it's just coffee and little fun and good people.
Well, you're cute, and you and Cecil are about equally cute, my dragon. So.
Oh, cool. I'm ranking up there with a dragon. That's nice.
Yeah, Danny's jealous because I have a dragon.
Oh, so any questions you want to hit, or we'll find some. But what's up with Maggie?
Okay.
An aide or something reported. It was reported before, but confirmed again that he asked for pardons about his case, about trafficking and whatnot. It's been going on forever. It should be coming to the close pretty soon. I think that Greenberg trial's coming up. I haven't heard of any delays yet. Again.
Okay.
What happened to the Trump rally last night? It was nuts. He had the slow moving speech in Ohio, and everyone started pointing up in the air like it was a Hitler rally.
Oh, shoosh.
It was nuts. And of course, his greatest hits. I listened to a few clips. Just the normal crazy stuff. He had a few faux pas. One point, he didn't even remember where he was. He just kept saying, this place. He didn't know he was still in Ohio for a bit. This place. Oh, man, that man. All right, Maddie Gaetz. Oh, yeah, December 1st. It got pushed back from the last I remember. Greenberg is set for December 1st.
He's set for December 1st, I say. Let's see if the Greenberg...
But
let's see if the Greenberg case is the kickoff for it, because I just said, isn't anything going to happen soon? And I just got a big fat no, and I mean a big fat no.
Oh, that's bummer.
See, I'm going to ask if they're waiting for the Greenberg case before they go after him.
Oh. There's he's eventually going to have his loss.
Yeah, and they're not waiting on Greenberg. They're waiting on something else. They're not waiting for...
I'm seeing like there might be another woman yet they want to secure a collaboration from or testimony. So there's some conflicts trying to secure with some Queen of Coins here.
Okay.
It will become a loss, but they're still trying to secure more testimony from other women. It's like they want to have a slam dunk here. They are working on it. An offer's coming. So it's like the FBI kind of feeling investigating it with a King of Wands in his circle of friends, whatever. And then there's an offer coming in. I'm feeling like it's there's a woman that procured others. She's worried about maybe being prosecuted herself feeling. So it's like she's wanting an offer, I'm not going to talk kind of feeling. I'm also getting like a drug dealer too, or some kind of money. So I got the Magician, 10 of Coins, and then the Illusions Delusions at the end here. So it's kind of like, it feels like there may be some business dealings with some kind of drugs, or maybe it's the medical marijuana stuff. You know, like there's some kind of dealings for money behind the scenes that's trying to get ironed out too. I think I'm sensing it's more than just the young women. There's other things involved here, I think.
Yeah, I got some people that have a lot of hidden conflicts, but they've been trying to get rid of their burdens, but they're trying to run to a safer place. So I think you're right about them trying to negotiate deals with them for their information. And I see that in the near future, they're really getting their whole act together, but there's still some pieces missing, so they're not quite ready to go. And I don't see anything till the first of the year, unfortunately.
Let's see. When?
What I'm going to ask is, will he be sworn into Congress again?
Okay, that's a good one.
I can't get a time frame around this.
That's a good one to check on. He represents a very military area. Weird thing is, I was actually stationed there most of my
Oh,
time.
really?
The,
Oh, really?
the town and area he represents. Big tourist area, big
Mm-hmm.
military area. There's two or three bases, one Navy and two Air Force in that area.
Oh, I got a weird thing. He wins. I know that's not normally a winning card, but it's yes in this thing. But he needs to be fleeing from where he is. His whole life is not comfortable. He has no strength. And so it's kind of iffy as if he's sworn in again. I think he wins, but I don't think he's sworn in again.
Oh yeah, because you don't get sworn in until January. So yeah, I think I got loyalty here and Ace of Coins, 10 of Coins, Knight of Cups of him winning. So it looks like the people vote him in. But after the fact, I'm seeing an indictment.
Yep.
The Tower Knight of Coins. And
I'm
then
going to pull
I got the Hermit Fool. So yeah, like he wins, and then after the fact, I think you're pretty much on target there.
I think he gets reelected, but I don't think he gets re-sworn in. Okay, I'm going to pull an oracle card for the final statement on Matt Gaetz. It's from your deck, Scott. Unexpected changes. Go with the flow.
Well, that's the Tower card, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Good pull.
Good for us.
Unfortunately, it's so long, but Matty Gaetz will eventually meet his demise. It's so funny. So I don't know if this is a question, but let's see how this can go. The Oversight Committee, after 3 years, is finally getting Mazar's accounting documents to the committee.
I gotta go get a different deck.
Sure. So the accounting firm's finally getting the documents to Congress, the Oversight Committee. 3 years of fighting it. But they can look into the emoluments.
Mm-hmm.
See what they got from him, what he claimed on all his properties and stuff like that. So what was the outcome?
Okay.
Can't sucks to be poor. Oh, blessings, Aspie. Stay in faith, stay in love, until you can get there. I mean, technically that should be a whole nother case the government should be already into.
Well, you either have an emoluments clause and say you can't do this or you don't.
Pretty much.
Right, Yeah, it's kind of over for them. They've structured it. This is the 3 of Cups. They've structured this the best they can for themselves. It's still not great, but it's over. They're over with it. They're done. There's the 10 of Swords upside down. Right now, they're in the 5 of Cups. They're crying over spilt milk. Man, we should have handled this differently. But I think what I asked if it was going to be an outcome that would be good for the government, for the people to investigate. And I got the Hangman, and then I got the Magician. In other words, they're handing them everything they need to know to move forward. But they really have played with these documents to make themselves look as innocent as possible.
So I got the Tower in the current. So it's kind of like they reported that they didn't they severed ties with the Trump org. So it kind of feels like that's what they decided to do, come out clean for no acute, punishments or whatever. And then we have a new path. So Ace of Cups, doing the right thing, and then we have Power moment, worry, and then they decided to make a new path. So it is this information will be fruitful. On the King of Coins comes out. This is all about Trump and what he did. And then they have major loss, and then he goes into a fool or hermit mode, where it's like you have to reevaluate your whole life. And then I see investigations coming, more so maybe recouping money or something like that, with the Ace of Coins, making decisions and investigating. Here's the investigations coming. So have patience. It'll be fruitful with Ace of Coins, and then here's investigations moving forward with that Knight of Swords.
I have a feeling it's going to be very helpful with all of the stuff that White House has been doing on the dirty money around Washington, and plus the whole time they're working on that January 6th committee, they're also re-looking at presidential powers and what guardrails are in there to control things, to get rid of some of the gentlemen's agreements. So it'll probably get bound up in all that.
Yeah, as far as the Secret Service text, yes, they've received a lot. The report is they received them, or a bunch more missing to put pieces together. They didn't report if they received everything. But yeah, they've been receiving stuff from the government about the missing text and whatnot. Yeah, that was disgusting what DeSantis did. We can look and see. That's right. Oh, they put Trump's rally on Spectrum and Dark TV. I guess it depends what channel, but ugh. Oh, cool. Glad you enjoyed the rally. Rally. The Chili Peppers. Sorry. I had silly rally. Okay. Just click in here quick. Thank you very much. Biden has a new boss at the Secret Service. Finally. Got that done, but they were going to get the documents anyway. One way or another, these tech people are smart. And don't forget the cloud. Oh. And listen. Okay. Pete Buttigieg ever going to be charged Elaine Chao? Or is it, I guess it would be part of the Secretary of Transportation's realm if they found anything, possibly? Okay. I guess let's say, did the new administration and the Secretary of Transportation find any evidence? It could be part of the Treasury, too, because I'm sure things flow that way. So, Pete Buttigieg, Secretary of Transportation.
I'm going to ask if she's ever going to get charged, because I'm not sure Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, that's a kind of weird thing. I was kind of sensing that's more of an inspector general within the Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah, and they had replaced one. The guy they put in there was a clown. So Pete probably has a new one that's working on it. But let's see if she's ever going to get charged for if it was bad enough that even Barr was looking at it. Dear.
I know I'm seeing like a cover up
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Right now,
seeing.
there's some kind of cover up something yet
Mm-hmm.
within the transportation because I seen the so I got Elaine Chao here as the Queen of Coins coming out, and then
Mm-hmm.
her administration in the department. Then I seen the Five of Wands was actually in the middle. So I
Mm-hmm.
seen the Five of Wands and those two together. I'm like, I heard cover up. So there was some kind of cover up of what she did
Mm-hmm.
coming out at first. But then I have like a whistleblower or someone did speak to about what happened within, like it,
Mm-hmm.
someone else. I do have a Queen of Swords at the end, and then I have the whistleblower, and then dark times coming for Elaine eventually. So I didn't get prison or whatever, but there is an investigation going on. What
Yeah.
I'm seeing here.
I see that this is a Nine of Pentacles reversed. It's kind of blown up her quiet little world where she was just doing just fine. She's getting along with everybody. They were doing great. Um, and and she was they were, all cooperating and getting along together. And somebody was talking though, and they were beginning to find out information. But then their chariot got turned upside down. It got derailed. And right now there's a lot of this is the Five of Wands. You got this too.
Yeah.
And the Five of Wands is a lot of false fighting, not really fighting, just people putting up stuff to put up stuff to sort of make fog. So I don't get a definitive answer. But one of the things when I read on it, when I first found out that Barr had been in Barr's Justice Department, they were looking at her. I was like, what the hell is that about? And what it was is they were getting information to control Mitch.
Mm, that could be. I could
So,
believe that.
you know,
Well, we got this on you. We need you to do this, that, and the other thing for us.
that's right.
I can believe that. Whole administration was about that.
No, that especially his, because now that that guy's book came out, Berman's book came out, you see how he went after everybody.
That is going to be damaging. And it all got approved because he talked about how he had to go through the whole process.
Oh yeah.
That he couldn't, what he could and couldn't talk about. Okay. Okay. Did Gaetz. Okay. Lots of talk about this.
Okay.
Whole special master thing.
Okay.
So they're appealing. So Deary wants to meet with both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the 11th Circuit was appealed, and they're meeting either before or after. It's like really quick. It's like everything's happening on Tuesday.
Right.
I can't remember which. So, how should we play this? We read on this a while ago about the whole special master, and I was just seeing like there's no definitive thing here because it's like there's going to be this happen, and then
I'm just going to ask. I'm going to ask if the 100 documents are going to be freed on Tuesday.
Yeah, because they wanted the stay. They're only asking for the stay stop to continue.
Right, they're only asking for the stay, and the stay is specific to those documents.
Right.
So I'm going to ask if in essence in not lawyer language, will the 100 documents that the FBI wants to work from be freed on Tuesday or out of the Tuesday hearings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue to work. If you want a special master, go for it. But continue to work. That's what they want. Seems reasonable. Oh, and 45 has to say in writing he's got to pay for the special master too.
Yeah.
That might be a tough one.
Oh dear. Yes, dears. We got a yes. We got a yes. We got a yes. We got a yes because of money. And then The stalemate's over. I think out of Tuesday's hearings, we're going to get all those 100 documents free.
You know, I got Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, and Knight of Wands. Those are all yeses to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it might pretty much go away. And in the ending
Mm-hmm.
here, I have the Tower, the Knight of Swords, and Six of Cups. So that's going to be
I
a
had,
drastic change.
in my thing, I had the Tower and the Ten of Swords. But in the way I'm looking at, if they're right side up, they mean yes. And what that means to me is that also is reflective of what that yes is going to do to other people. But this is just totally, when you read cards like those kind of yes nos I do, it's just that question, and not, it can show things around it, people around it, but it's not about the people. It's about the situation.
I kind of asked about the situation and whatnot. And then
Right, you did too.
the first three of the question I asked, and then if I pulled any more, it was like the outcome.
Right.
I got the yeses on the situation about the documents, and then, but it might be shut down here with the 11th Circuit also with that Tower, Knight of Swords, and Six of Cups. And on the bottom of the deck, I had 45 going through dark times here and transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
can I ask one more question?
Go.
Is that stupid ruling that the so pitiful, poor first-year law student could have written it better ruling by that judge? Is she going to pay for that? Is someone going to come after her for that?
Judge Cannon, huh?
Mm-hmm. Whose first name ought to be Luce.
Yeah. All right. Deary ruined his political career for 45. No, when I think of Deary's energy, I sense of nothing bad. He'd be fair if he was doing it.
Yeah.
Judge Cannon.
I think they just couldn't get anybody else that would agree to do it. And he's been known to be open and fair, and he's been up in New York for a long time. And all the lawyers, even though they all said, the first guy that they picked, the first name on that list, he's head of the Federalist Society in Florida. And they said that was going nowhere, but that Deary, you can't just put someone's name on a list. They have to agree to do it. So I'm sure there's a whole lot of people who said, no way.
Agree and have top secret clearance too.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying some of the FBI agents couldn't even get the clearance to look at some of the documents.
Deary has it because he was a FISA judge.
Right. Okay. Elaine Cannon, speaker.
Okay, I'm asking about Judge Luce Cannon. So. Not immediately, but it's coming.
Bless you.
It's coming, but it's a slow time building it. They don't have all the people in place to do it. They're all aware of what she did and how they're going to cover it. It's going to cost her in her job, but it's going to be delayed for a while. The Ace of Swords always means something's going to start, but not like today.
Yeah. So I got my Hermit, but it's basically the Fool, Hermit, mm-hmm. and it's all about making big mistakes. This person ran a tractor into a mud hole, mm-hmm. right? And then her public service is going to face a drastic change here with the Tower.
Right.
But that change may be more of political or public criticism and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm not seeing a removal.
No, they have to impeach her, and they're not going to do that.
Yeah, so it feels more like a sanction some kind of document here,
Yeah.
a new path, and then a big change with the moon, like some darkness coming off, or she's going to be in depression mode or something that she's going to regret. But I'm not seeing like removed off the bench, but I have some kind of, document or something that would represent like maybe a sanction or removal. Like
Maybe,
the bar association can do
yeah,
something.
the bar can come after her. And the other thing is, one of my good friends when I was a kid growing up was our next door neighbor who was an assistant state's attorney. And he used to tell me about the machinations going on in the background. And they have a way of, no matter where you've been appointed to, that they can sit you in a position where you're the equivalent of night court in your court.
Oh, good
And make
Lord.
it utterly useless.
And since we're in Florida, I've seen a lot of people reading about the energy of who's going to win the. Oh, that's right. Let's go with. Someone asked about DeSantis and Abbott. We'll go there first.
Katie Moon, it's at 9:44.
Did I start, or is another one?
No, you didn't start, but it's in big capitals and she's surrounded it with every emoji you can imagine.
9:44.
Right under Ian, our friend from Scotland.
Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Who I got on WhatsApp now. We can chat once in a while.
Oh, wow.
It's cool. New friends. 9:44. Come on. Keep coming. Katie.
Katie Moon's child.
How do you remember that and see that? Oh, there it is. Finally.
How could you not see that one?
Well, I had to keep scrolling.
You guys have no idea. When you're scrolling up and down, this stuff just goes.
Okay, Abbott and DeSantis with the. It's technically not trafficking. It's kidnapping, basically.
It's kidnapping by inveigling. In other words, lying to people.
Yeah, inveigling, yeah.
I never knew what that word meant until I'd heard it.
Yeah.
I realized it had a legal definition. We have to take them separately because they each played a very different role in this.
Yeah, the people came
there
from.
are people following Abbott around at his he doesn't do rallies, but wherever he is, which is always in front of rich people's houses all over Texas, are people showing up with signs saying, fix our power grid, don't send people to other states.
Cool. Well, and you are a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
New vocabulary. No vocabulary word, inveigling, added to our. Okay, inveigling. Okay, there's people speaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Kind of knew that.
Are you doing Abbott or are you doing to Satan?
I'm thinking of Abbott first.
Okay.
It's just saying that people are speaking out. There will be a 10 of swords on him. Some kind of painful ending. There will be victory on what's investigated on his end.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that with people speaking out, a 10 of swords, painful ending. Kind of, there were news and victory and success on this. And then we have, funny enough, we got the chariot.
Yeah, taking him away.
Moving people Oops, I'm going blurry. I might have to change my camera. I just went blurry. Energy's here. Come back. All right, I gotta change quick.
Scott's computer has a cataract.
Yes, it happens every once in a while. Now I
There
got
you
the
go.
less definition on the webcam. Okay, so then I have. He thought it was gonna help with the Knight of Cups. It feels like it's gonna help his standing here, but then we had these 10 of 1 burdens coming on. Like, kind of weird because these pegs are kind of like hearted, so you gotta get the feeling of wrapping up people in small cages and doing bad things. In my end, I have a Queen of Wands, the foolish mistake, and then walking away. What does that mean? Does he have a communications director that's a female? It feels like they're just going to try to spin it in a different way. So there is going to be some kind of loss I had in the bottom of the deck here, like, oh crap moment. But these just feel like they're just going to try to spin it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's not telling me right now the future. Bless you, Catherine.
I don't think we know what it is down here. I think it definitely plays to the mouth breathers that follow him.
I wish I was seeing in the distance. It feels like it's just throwing me a current.
The basic card I got that says it all is this is illusion and delusion. I'm looking in the cabinet. I don't think we know how it's going to play out yet.
And it's a squirrel moment. Look over here.
Right? Yeah. Now you want to do Satan?
So, yeah. I mean, I sense there's a lot of bad, we could see it in the news, but there's a lot of bad things that Abbott's been done. He took federal money and didn't use it where he's supposed to. Horrible situations with everything he's done. So I don't know. It's kind of like, where do you start with the guy?
Yeah, I know. I live here. I know.
But the Satan, yeah, I know, right? But the Satan using federal funds earmarked for certain things as a political stunt is not a good idea. The 3M lawyer. Could you re-put up your question there, Catherine, about 3M lawyer? Bless you for the donation. We'll hit that again. Could you redo that question? I'm not sure what that meant. The 3M lawyer. All right, Ron DeSantis. Oh, I think we've read on him before, Ian. I think there's other things that DeSantis has done. I mean, he's got pictures with Gaetz and Greenberg together. Man does some criminal things. Hiding money, taking money, whatever it is. Okay. We're looking at the moving of what's the future of Ron DeSantis.
Yeah. Well, I see that he thinks it's going to make him powerful, make him the magician, but it's actually going to take him in a backward ride on the chariot. That's not going to help. And he's got a bunch of people around him that are selling him out. He really has. When I see somebody has 10 cards and they have way more people than anything else, it's not just a situation. All the people around him are freaking out, trying to figure out how to deal with this. They don't feel like he's in control. This is a 4 of Pentacles, and he's not in control about this. And right now they feel like they're getting blasted out into the storm like the people, worse than the people that got put on the airplane to Martha's Vineyard. And they're trying to find a way to reach temperance. These are the only non-people cards in the thing. And what I see him getting is thrown out of his squishy little life. And it's not coming to a good end for him because the Ace of Cups upside down. I think this is going to blow up worse in DeSantis's face than in Abbott's.
Yes. DeSantis is going to be in trouble here. People are speaking.
Mm-hmm.
My overall energy is a wheel of fortune in the courthouse. Justice is going to be coming on him for this stunt.
Mm-hmm.
His luck is going to change, and I don't see him. I've seen it numerous times. He's not going to be the governor. I think Chris is going to beat him. And here's the investigations upon him. People are speaking out, and there's documentation and everything coming here. There's women rising up, speaking up against him within the administration. Everything out with a light, goodness, not evil DeSantis. Yeah. And then I have some infighting, lack of energy, gonna have to walk away, and then the severe loss card again. He's in terrible heartbreak, everything. His wagon's broke. Yeah, he's in big trouble. This is a bad stunt. Whatever he thought it was going to do, it's going to backfire big time.
And I wish the press had not called it a stunt, because now all of us do, but it wasn't a stunt. It was an insane and inhumane use of people.
Correct.
And that's not a stunt. A stunt is something that's not going to hurt people forever and ever.
It's kind of a good thing in a sense. I mean, none of these people are hurt, thank God. But Abbott, DeSantis, they're making it easier for Democrats to win. And they're, it's even like 45. He probably would have won the election the way it was going if he took COVID serious.
Yeah.
It was that close. We were, 100,000 people away from him getting the electoral college again. It's crazy.
Well, we're still losing somewhere near 300 people a day to it. And long haul COVID has now become the third major reason for people seeing neurologists. And it's not older people like me. It's younger people. It's people between 30 and 55.
So my daughter got it 2 years ago. And she's always had a little bit of asthma. And does an inhaler. She's fine. Now she's getting bronchitis more often. She uses a nebulizer. She's got a long COVID. Her lungs are not the same anymore. She gets those allergies are more often. Now she's got bronchitis. She's constantly getting lung infections.
Yeah, her immune system's been compromised.
Yeah. Bless you, Dot. But yeah, it's a real thing.
Oh, it is, and it's scary because she has my condolences, because I used a nebulizer and a inhaler for years after I had pneumonia. And then last year I really, really did some work with some of Dispenza's clearing your system of illnesses, and I got rid of it. And my doctor said, you're not supposed to be able to get rid of this, but some people do. She said, people just heal. But if she sticks with the nebulizer and does that regularly, even when she doesn't think she needs it, that will help her a lot. Because that's a really good secondary system for us to use. But she has my sympathies, because nothing scares me more than not being able to breathe. And that's what it feels like when it sets in. Okay, we're going to talk about something other than my health. I'm sure everybody's at home going, there's not enough coffee for this.
Lots of COVID issues. I mean, there's even been reports of studies that having COVID increases, sped up the decline in our brain matter loss too.
Oh, yeah.
It generally declines over the years. They say like 0.2%, but they said it sped up like 10 times the brain matter loss. Okay, there was She was okay. Oh, 3 million. That's what it was. Yeah. So I forgot his name. If anyone can put his name if they remember.
Okay.
There's one lawyer who worked for the Venezuelan company or president who paid him like $1 million to help out. And I guess he never registered with Favre or anything like that. But anyway, 45 hired him and gave him $3 million from his State America PAC to be his lawyer. So if this comes up into, and then they hit, what was it? In the documents, they wanted 45's lawyer to be able to look at the documents too. Well, there's no way he's going to get security clearance. But Catherine's wondering about this lawyer taking $3 million. I mean, he could basically take it and run if he wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, he comes in with great expectations, the Ace of Cups. And he's got the Three of Swords reversed, and that in my reading means a no as far as him being helpful. But Three of Swords reversed usually means it's less painful. But right in the center of all of this is justice. And he's like, it's kind of like the Knight of Wands reversed. He's very good at manipulating and moving things away. And what he's really good at is hiding the things you don't want people to know about. That's the moon. So what I get is he's going to start making calls for Trump that will make it less painful. But I don't think he's going to be able to undo, because he's come in way too late. Had Trump been smart and hired and paid his lawyers at the beginning, he'd be in much better shape. Thank God the man's as stupid as he is.
Yeah. I got the Ace of Cups too. Basically, he's the only guy who'd pay up front, it feels like, because I think 45 thought he was going to be the bingo for him. The top dog that would help him out, but no. I got the dark times coming with that. This whole, it feels like here the angels are on our side in this whole bringing 45 down. The mess, even like I'm getting reference to Alex Jones, his lawyer, sending emails. It's like these little gifts keep coming to help out the process. And so I have the law, and then this strength, or this I endure, but it's angelic card next to that dark times I showed. But it feels like, to me, it's like gifts from the heaven to move the process over. And then I have the moon also, what you stated, King of Wands and Knight of Wands.
Right.
So it's like the dark secrets are moving forward in a rapid pace. So I'm not seeing success for him. He might even just keep the money, or bill it out as I did my work. I can't help.
Well, and it built him a certain reputation, and I think he is going to be able to help him hide some things that could be just as bad.
When you have discovery, you can't hide nothing.
I know. And they're having a discussion in the discussion group.
He's only
tea leaf reading.
What was that?
It's about tea leaf reading. I don't think we need to go to it, but yes, it's fascinating. But I can tell you, it's really hard to show and do on YouTube. There was a lady for a while who did it out of Australia, and she actually had created a way of teaching people how to do it. And I watched it. It was fascinating. I have sister-in-laws, or I don't know if they're still alive, but in England, who is a tea leaf reader. And it's really incredible to watch them work. But it's like, so yes, Thank you, Opal Girl, for letting everybody know what the words that for that mean. Anyway.
Spirits on the question of Andrea and I read on that a long time ago in Mystery Theater.
Yes.
So we don't really need to, but you just ask the basic question. Why won't the Royals offer up a DNA test? This guy's been saying it for 4 years.
He's been saying it longer than that. I saw, well, I guess she's not competition because we're not competition to her, but Ellie Down Under did a whole long thing on it.
Oh,
and I think,
that one.
But there's other ways they could get it. There are other people who are part of the royal family that they could get their DNA. That's how they find those murderers, that they use the giant DNA databases and find murderers who've been out for 20 years or something. It's called Bloodline Detectives. So there's a lot of other DNA. They don't need Charles's and hers definitively, but that would be the only way you could prove it in a court. Let's see. Oh, and look what my first card I pulled was. It looks like a DNA, right?
Yes, it does.
And that's the Two of Cups, and it's two people getting together. And then it said, the question was, will he ever get it? And then I got a no. They'll never get it directly from them. But like I said, there are other. I don't think the royal family wants to do much about DNA. Have you ever looked at Harry? Have you ever looked at the guy who was Diana's riding coach?
Yeah, he also looks like Prince Philip more than Charles.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
but and quite honestly, guys, I feel for the man because I found out when I was in my mid-20s that because of a blood type thing that my father couldn't be my father, and then I had to go back and figure out who was because I was in the middle of 5 kids, right? It's a difficult situation. I feel for the man terribly because I know what it's like to go through having one set of ideas of where you're from and then finding out it's something else, and is there a way to confirm it? And it's very difficult psychologically. I feel for him. I don't feel for King Charles.
So that's being part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
That was my card. And he was actually conceived out of love.
Yeah.
So.
Well, was Charles 17 at the time?
Something like that, yeah. They were young. But that's what Andrew and I got. But yeah, he's part of the club. I mean, it's the same thing as 45 giving up his DNA for E. Jean Carroll. If you're guilty, you're not guilty, it didn't happen, give up your DNA.
That's true too, but I think the way, actually, weirdly enough, yesterday while I was finishing up some grids, I listened to a long show on if they'd followed Henry VIII's original will, who would be the king now? Because it would have fallen through a whole other part of the family and through the bloodlines. And then they went through all the other ones, and there's like 73 different ways. But the thing is, normally it's through, you have to be a legitimate heir, and just having the genetics doesn't make you a legitimate heir.
So yeah, there's a lot of talking here. Sign a person. What else? Mary Trump should Mary Trump and E. Jean are friends. They should just give her DNA. Who knows? They probably did to confirm it, but they can't bring it out. Kind of feeling.
Thank you. ... I just saw your contribution. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, bless you. I think we've read on. I don't know if you did or not, but I know I've read on her. Can't remember if we have since you joined the club here.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Oh,
you
for
remember
sure.
her? Do you
I
remember
know who
her?
she is. Yeah.
She was
How can you
subpoenaed.
forget that last name? I went to a whole school full of kids with those kinds of last names. They're missing all sorts of vowels.
Ah, yeah. But yeah, she was subpoenaed
Mm-hmm.
in New York, and then we haven't heard anything since about her. But most likely she'll be coming up again in October, since the Trump order is going on trial there, and the 24th of October. So, Phoenix Renee wants an update on Rosemary. Surprised she must be in witness protection because she hasn't been
She
any
hasn't
report of her.
surfaced.
She hasn't flew out a window.
Yeah, I think, well, that kind of says it all. Ten of Swords. That's in October. That's the fall. Um, it's going to be a very difficult night of the soul for her. It's not going to be as much of a tower time as we might think, but it's the tower definitely coming down. And she's getting ready to be defensive. This is the Nine of Wands. She's manning the decks, watching what she's doing.
Oh, good
But
Lord.
her outcome card is the Fool but reversed, which is someone who does not want to take an action. So, yeah, we're going to hear from her. But
Really weird. It's almost like she is in hiding or something.
mm-hmm.
There's a lot. I got a lot of painful cards, but in the bottom, I did have my Ten of Swords too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she lost her life because of what she's done. But I do have the Ace of Cups here at first, with her loss of her career and going through dark times. But she had to do the right thing here. I have everything bad here. The dark times, depression and sadness and broken, losing everything. I even have the loss of all their money for what she's done. And then I have that. This is the Hermit Fool for me combined. So I'm feeling full. This is her new journey. Loss of everything of what she's done associated with the Deutsche Bank and everything there. And then I have going to court. Her inner wisdom will give evidence for the Knight of Coins. So here, the 3-4 wands, I'm representing that as going to a courthouse, right there with that icon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have her, the female, coming in with the Queen of Wands, what she did, that creative energy, and then giving up what she needs, being the hero. You know, there's a gift right there. So, but he had to lose everything for this. You know, it's kind of like Weisselberg. He's going to have to testify and give up everything, and he lost everything for what he's done all those years. So eventually everything comes around. It's kind of like what we were talking before when we got on. How are you going to be remembered? What are you going to do at the end of your life? She ain't going to be, if she comes up and stands up and does the right thing, she'll be like Michael Cohen. He'll be better remembered as someone who spoke out rather than the fix-it lawyer back in the day. It's like an asterisk, but you actually did the right thing. Save your soul kind of feeling. So yeah, we'll hear about her again in October too. That Ten of Swords, we both got that.
Yep. Yeah, I see a whole lot of movement in October, and then we've got. I think we have of course we have an eclipse on election day, which is eclipses always portend great change, which could mean that it all goes Democratic too.
Oh yeah, yep. I have no fears of losing Senate.
I do if you don't vote. If everybody who's hearing our charming voices gets out and votes.
I think that'll happen. I mean, we have under 10,000 people that watch the show, so But every little energy helps. You know, when there's hopefully 160 million people voting in the midterm, but doubtful. But
No, we have more people registered to vote now, and in some states it's up by 30% than we did in 2018.
That is lovely. We'll keep both houses. I'm not worried. You betcha, Karen. Positive reinforcement.
I saw a cartoon, and it's a woman standing in the voting booth, and her underneath it, the caption was, "This is also a rigorous part of my birth control."
To pay the lawyer up front.
Scott, how's it going? Okay, you got one. Okay.
I was just trying. All right. I also wanted to get in the energy of Kristen DeSantis. Bless you, Linda. So nice of you. Kristen DeSantis and Rubio and Demings.
So you want to do Fetterman and Oz first?
Yeah.
Okay. We know Oz is doomed when he shows up with a pill bottle and tries to sell that from the podium.
At least we know Pennsylvania's a little bit. Pennsylvania leans Dem, which is good news there. There could be people not wanting to vote Fetterman because of his health issues. Could be, independents there. They're like, I don't want him in.
Well, consider the health issues of Oz. The man's nuts.
I know. Just throwing questions out there.
Fetterman's going to bury him. I see Fetterman as the king of wands because he's really good at being adaptable and being an entrepreneur. Yeah, he's riding on the Two of Swords. He's healing. And I see a lot of people are going to try to make an issue out of that. But I don't see that issue going anywhere. And at the end of the day, I think he holds his own in the debates. But the debates are definitely a changing point. People are going to see him differently. Because I have 2 5s, and 5s in numerology is a point of change.
Yeah, I think Oz agreed to one debate. Not till October, though. Late October.
Okay. Well, do they have early voting? I know Pennsylvania used to have really strict rules. You could only vote on the day of. But they had a bazillion polling places. I mean, they had polling places in people's living rooms because they needed so many polling places because they only had that one day you could vote. And I don't know if they have early voting yet or not. I'll have to go look that up on Ballotpedia and see.
I don't even remember what it is, but I know there's early voting in Wisconsin because my Nancy did it, and she got a text message when they received it and counted her ballot.
Okay, that's a mail-in ballot. That's early voting in person is. I think Texas used to have the longest. It was 3 weeks. If somebody told me
in person, you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
But people say, "Oh, I just couldn't make it to the ballot box." I'm like, "What the hell have you been doing for last month? You couldn't have been sick, ill, or preoccupied or on the toilet for all that time. I mean, surely you could have broken away long enough to go vote." I had somebody throw it at me. Well, it's my right not to vote. And I said, then you ought to figure out a way to get it to me or somebody else who can make it worth something, because you're not voting as a vote yes for the other side.
Oh, so weird.
What? It's strange because the 2 5 shouldn't be if it's a secure victory, but I think he's going to hold his own.
I think it's talking about I see him winning in the end. But every time it's like he might have another health incident, prior to the election. Like he might have to take a few days off, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's not okay." Because I did it twice. Because I'm like, the first one didn't mean, it was like I don't get this, so I did it again, and it's basically the same thing.
Have you ever been around someone after they've had a stroke or something like that, some serious health thing, and they get aphasia where they lose bits of their language for a while?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and it comes back or it doesn't, but it doesn't mean that all the thoughts aren't correct in the head.
Correct.
And he can write, and he'll have a staff. I mean, trust me over Oz, who doesn't even live in this damn state.
And I'm not worried. I do sense he's going to win, but it's just like there's this bump in the road they're showing me.
Well, and that's not an unrealistic thing to think about, but
I mean, the end result is the Magician, Duchess, Empress, and then Ace of Cups.
Yeah, so he's okay.
But but the beginning is, kind of scary to me because it's like things from the past coming up. Six of Cups, dark times there, and then a Ten of Swords, and then something about his DNA. This is my DNA card. Health issues.
Well,
so, but then there is the creator magician can also be like Dr. Help too. But then I have the Page of Coins here, new path, new things, new treatments or whatever. But like I said, in the end, I have everything great for an outcome. Like I said, I shuffled twice and it wanted to tell me the story. Like there may be something else, coming up with a situation that might turn off a few people, but I see him winning.
What about closer to your home? Speaking of another person who has incredible brain defects, what about Ron Johnson and Mandela Barnes?
Oh, if polling's right, it's scary because they're neck and neck. Which I'm like, are you kidding me?
Do you know? I'll go try to look them up on Ballotpedia. But do you know if those are likely voters?
I have no clue which one I think.
The difference between polling and likely voters is polling's always been based on who voted before, which is reasonable. I mean, it's like most things. You look at the historic past, try and project to the future. If you look at the number of people who've registered in Wisconsin that have never voted before, and they're registering now, which means they're mad about what's happening now, none of those people are calculated in these polls.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm not saying get complacent. The closer those polls are, the more you stuff 6 people in your vehicle and drag them to the polls and watch them vote. But speaking of inveigling and kidnapping people, I'd like to read. Okay, we're going to see about. I'm going to go with Will Mandela win.
Yeah, stay in the good energy and see where that's going. Yeah, that's right, Christine. Fetterman has great qualities. Oh, sweet darlings. Wants us to look at Brett Favre scandal. Fun.
Okay.
Mandela Barnes.
Oh God, yes, he's going to win. But there's going to be a whole lot of finagling going on in the background trying to stop it. But people are going to see through the delusions that Ron's putting up. But it's going to be down to the wire in your state. You've got the 9 of Cups. I love this 9 of Cups. Come and get it. We're at the bar. Everybody belly up to the bar and get what you want. And then you've got the 5 of Wands, which is a whole lot of really false fighting. And it's going to lead a lot of people to have a lot of anxiety, which is probably a good thing considering who's the one who started the whole grand trip to conservatism and the guy who was elected governor?
Scott Walker.
Okay. Considering that state voted for Scott Walker, yeah, I'd worry too. But
yeah, he had me fooled.
Oh, he was slick, and he had the right kind of money behind him, and people weren't aware of the giant conservative money machine. I was, because I was working against it down here. But
yeah, that's the problem here. You got big money behind Ron Johnson. Yeah, I tried to visualize Mandela. Is he going to be at the podium accepting or not? And I see him at the podium. And so I have him getting in the government with the Ace of Cups. But like you said, it's going to be a rocky road. I have a lot of battling wands in between. 10 of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. So it's
Well,
not.
don't you have a still?
A what?
Don't you still have a small army of election deniers running around your state trying to cause trouble?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, maybe it's saying these. It could also be saying these fake electors that came from Wisconsin are going to be locked up too. Hopefully that's.
Yeah, I hope so.
He's part of that scam.
That's the only scandal Texas hasn't been in because we unfortunately voted for Trump. So they didn't need to pull it, or they'd all been in there too.
Unreal. Well, Fonnie Willis already basically said in Georgia that
she's going to put him in jail.
Yeah. Basically all the fake electors and Rudy, basically they're saying now, are going to prison or will be charged.
Rudy will never live to get into prison, I don't think. I think Rudy will just internally explode.
Most likely, yes.
He's kind of placed each little time bomb in there one ounce at a time.
It's amazing some of these other people haven't exploded already. Going around criming all the time. All right, I don't have one up. Val Demings.
Okay.
Val Demings against Romeo. I'm gonna do a banner quick.
Okay.
Val Demings' birth is Rubio.
So our question is she successful? Because I can't do a decision tree on a yes/no. It's gonna be yes, Val. Okay.
So basically, leave Rubio out of the equation. Focus on Val. Do we see her at the podium winning, or does she come up short against Little Marco? Val Demings accepting. Let's see. How am I going to say that? Val Demings being sworn in as Florida's senator. Val Demings.
Okay, my first reading was kind of a mix, so I'm going to pull out the victory card and look at Val.
I know Rubio is doubling down on crazy. God. When I try to visualize both of them, I'm not getting a clear answer because it's kind of like it's undecided yet as far as the energy of the votes.
Yep.
But I do have the karma cycle coming around and winning. The energy is towards her, the universal energy, but it matters who votes, which is weird. But I do have
who gets to vote or whose vote gets to count.
Right, kind of. I'm not saying cheating or anything, but I'm getting, for her, Queen of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and 10 of Cups. This is being in the family, life cycles changing, positive results with the Wheel of Fortune. But I also have a heartbreak card and a Page of Swords, which is kind of like cheating or lies.
Mm-hmm. What I got is the one I pulled. Okay, what I pulled for the victory was the Ace of Swords was in the first reading I did on her. But then I've got the 10 of Wands reversed, and that's really kind of throwing off the weight and getting out from under stuff. But then I see she has a Magician card, and then this is weighted twice. This is the Lovers, and that's people making good decisions. And then I see the devil reversed, which means they have to turn that energy around to make it work. And she has the Ten of Pentacles, and Ten of Pentacles is one of those cards that I read. Uh, it is what it is, but it's not as good as if it was right side up. So what I see for her, it's like you said, it's cloudy. It's like, and when you talk about whether you get to vote, are they still letting the Proud Boys run two parts of the Republican Party in the state of Florida? Anyway.
You mean he created a bunch of guys to watch the elections you're talking about?
Well, no, these are actually Proud Boys who took over leadership parts in the Republican Party. And the thing is, and that's when I said what worries me in some states is, will the people be able to vote? Because in Texas, we have a law, it's called the 100-foot law. And you're given a string and a cord and a little thing to plank out at the end of this, wherever, so that you're 100 feet away from the entry to the polling place. And that law was created because the Klan used to, once blacks got the vote in the 60s, the Klan used to stand in the doorway of the voting place so you couldn't get in. If they didn't like what you look like, you weren't getting in. And so they passed this law so that gives people lots of different ways to get in. And they created some laws working with the local sheriffs to protect voters. So I've spoken with and worked with African Americans and Hispanics who lived in this state that couldn't get in to vote. And if these guys, I don't know what kind of laws they have in Florida, but I know the unions are being very active over there and soliciting for votes. And I imagine they're going to be active there the day of voting to make sure you can get in the polling place. So that's why I always tell everybody, if there's a way for you to vote mail in, vote this time. I think these people are going to be pleasant. And if you're going to vote in person, vote early. So in case anything happens, you can get it straightened out before the election day. But what concerns me is knowing how they are about, if they can't control the machines, which apparently, from what I'm hearing, they're locking them off more and more from being able to control how the votes go in the machines. Then They have to block the voters. And I don't want people to be afraid. There are other ways to do it without those kind of confrontations. But I've signed up to work on a polling place because anybody shows up and plays those shenanigans where I'm running the poll, ain't going to happen. I know who to call and how to get them out of there.
Right. But, I don't want to toss on this about, I'm not going to mention names, but I just seen other readers are like talking about, oh, there's going to be cheating. They're going to lose because of cheating, right? Mm-hmm. So we have gerrymandering. We have voter registrations being dropped out. This is semi-rules, right? But as far as, like you said, with machine manipulation or anything like that, is the cheating as a whole been cleared up? As a whole kind of feeling, you know what I mean?
Well, the DOJ, I can tell you, because I live in a county where we had problems at one time. And one time, it was during a primary. And when they rolled the machines up where they were collected, where all the counting was done, they had the electronic count that had come in. When they pulled the trucks up to drop all the stuff off, they were met with people from the DOJ who were seizing the machines for them to just keep control over them till they could have certain engineers come make sure that they hadn't been played with. And that happens to where you work once, and they're never going to try that again because they never know when they're going to show up or not. And so I've kind of seen cheating from all the different ways. That's why when they said 2020 was the cleanest election, I totally believe it's true, because a whole lot of that had been, talking to my friends that work in that world, a whole lot of it had been cleaned up. I don't think they're going to be able to get the machines. I think they're going to try to convince the voters to not vote.
Yeah.
Or discourage.
From what I've seen, there's a lot more places that have increased paper ballot trails. That's a big bonus there.
Oh, Texas went to it totally 4 years ago, right after Cruz won, when all the votes were showing up flipping, when people were saying, I voted for Beto, but the screen still says Cruz. Stop that. I mean, I was in a
Right.
car with someone and watched it happen. I mean, yeah. I mean, we so badly wanted a paper trail for so long.
Yeah.
And now you
Yeah.
get a ballot that shows who you voted for, and you stick it in a box, and that's an independent vote other than what the machine tallied.
Yeah. Did you see Marie's question? Was that an ESS machine? Touch machine you're talking about?
No, I don't know.
You don't know what brand it was, but it was a touch screen, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was a touch screen, yeah. It's the one that was all over the country. Before that, we'd had the one where you filled in a little circle, but if you didn't fill it in with the right pen, it didn't record. I mean, we had... Okay, so where are we going next?
I was just going to throw a general in the United States. If elections are secured up, feeling for 2020.
Okay.
I have no problems here. I'm getting the Empress, the votes, and Ace of Swords. I think a lot of the problems have been shored up. All the worries, machines, and whatnot. I have positive energy. Companies or whatever, or investigations have been done and shored up of anything that was voting that's been blocked up. So now with all these laws, it's just our responsibility to make sure
we go vote.
We're registered and go vote. I think the past has been cleared up. I'm not seeing massive cheating on a scale that can manipulate.
I pulled an oracle card from the brilliant oracle deck, and it says, "No victim mentality. You take care of your life. So
you take care of your business. Don't worry about it. It's better."
And Dominion's case going ahead and them not stopping at all is also freezing a lot of things people might think they want to do.
All right, you said something where we wanted to go before this, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, it was we went to it. We went to Ron and Ron Johnson and Mandela.
Okay. Oh, Missouri. Oh, sad Missouri. So is Josh Hawley on the ticket this November?
Yeah.
He is. Oh, really? Thought he was later.
I thought he just beat Claire McCaskill.
I don't think Hawley's this time. I thought it was the other guy.
Let me see.
I thought the other person was on the ticket this November, and Hawley's in 2004. That was a few years ago. McCaskill. Does Hawley look like Mr. Ed? Oh, good Lord. Did you find it, Nancy? Or
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Trudy Valentine Bush Schmidt. She's against Roy Blunt. She's running against Roy Blunt. Blount.
Okay. So you got that woman's running against Blunt.
Okay, let's see if she's going to win. Is a woman going to win against Blunt? It could happen. It could happen in Kansas, you know?
True. Okay. You remember the woman's name?
Trudy Bush Valentine.
Trudy Valentine.
And if it's that Bush, it's like, isn't that the brewery? Isn't that the Bush beer?
Could be.
which I would presume would mean if she's related to that family, she's got money. Okay.
Roy Blunt retired.
Oh, so who's running? Let me. Oh, it's the seat he had before. She is related to the Anheuser-Busch's.
Isn't it Eric Schmidt or something like that? Isn't that guy supposed to be
Schmidt,
indicted?
yeah, it's Eric Schmidt. Schmidt was appointed by the Attorney General in Missouri in 2019.
Okay. Isn't there a Schmidt or something there?
Yeah, that's
under indictment or going to be indicted or some kind of scandal?
I don't know. Let me, since I didn't have the right names, I better try the cards again. No wonder they get confused.
I think I need it.
I'm just going to ask if she's going to win.
There's two guys like in a big scandal, like a attorney general was running, but he was kind of scandal about trafficking or something through this place or something going on. The other Eric is the former governor. Okay, thank you, Karen. I knew there was some kind of scandal going on, something about trafficking kids or something.
Actually, they've moved the as of this month, the independent election forecasters have moved that Missouri from solid Republican to potentially safe Republican. They're claiming it has a 15% margin, but there's been an increase in voter registration that could eliminate that margin. And you guys can find all the stuff on Ballotpedia if you want to know about it. And because Josh Hawley only won by a 5.8% margin, and they're ranking it. Okay. So let's see.
Okay. Vicky Howell and the Schmidt. Okay, Schmidt has done a lot of controversial things as AG there. Okay.
Yeah, he filed suits against Biden. Guess what? I got that she wins.
Vicky Howell.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be set with a lot of fretfulness, but she's seen as the Queen of Cups, and they're looking for that kind of change. And they're tired of the emotions of what's been going on with their candidates. And she's not crying over spilt milk at the end of it. She's got the Five of Cups reversed, although they're going to try a whole lot of lies against her. But I sure she's going to win.
Weird. I hate when it does that when thinking cards. I get the mix of both of them, what I'm seeing here, but I think she wins. I got the government coming in with her. I mean, it's kind of weird because I'm like, why would a King of Cups come in here with a tower? So things from that guy's past, the other guy she's running against, he may have a tower moment with an October surprise kind of feeling.
He's with the America First agenda, which is a big part of the group that supports Trump.
Oh.
And
so I have being in the government here. So here's the Hierophant, the governmental card, organization. Knight of Coins can be accepting the Senate seat. And the Knight of Swords here, it's kind of dark, but it's also a lot of energy coming flying in for her, taking the bull by the horns. And then I have the light, the sun. Happiness, warmth, clarity, success. So it looks like she's going to pull it out. Ain't going to be an easy fight.
Nope.
But I think like I said, it just senses like there's going to be a lot of October surprises.
Yeah, in
With
places where they
all these criminal guys, like the one guy running for governor in Pennsylvania, he was part of January 6th. Who knows, and then we had people running against Michigan's governor get arrested or raided, There's so many things that could be popping up with these people. Half of them are election deniers or been fake electors or whatever, It's getting the right message to the right people, but could hit a lot of them later. But I don't even like with Beto. I just cannot see Beto losing to Abbott. It just feels so good for him. It was like he's finally destined to win something here.
Yeah, well, he did win against. I mean,
correct.
They cut the margin from 18% to I think it was just under 3% when he ran against Cruz for the Senate, and that was all theft.
Yeah.
Oh, I know nothing about this, so I just know the name. I've heard that name in Scandal, and it's got something to do with football.
Mississippi. The ex-governor and him and other people concocted a scheme to take $5 million from a fund from the government that's supposed to go to poor people to build a volleyball stadium for Ole Miss.
Oh, that's for his daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And tech proved that Favre was like, okay, I'll do it, but is anybody going to find out about the money or where it came from?
Yeah, he said, I didn't know where it came from. Then they showed up with some email and said he knew.
So they gave him a bunch of money to be back-ending it. He gave the money back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an investigation. I would probably say the ex-governor is in bigger trouble than Favre. He was in charge of moving the money and other people involved, but Brett knew about it, and he was willing to take money for this. He's wealthy, he's famous, he could have done charities and raised that money on the side as a good guy for that volleyball stadium. Pretty easy. But he wanted to do a scandal way.
I just wanted to do the easy way out. Yeah, where did he play football?
Ole Miss.
Oh, okay.
Then he got drafted by Atlanta and then the Packers.
Oh, that's why I thought I remembered him with the Packers.
Yeah. And the Packers did a trade to get him, and the rest was history for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my in card was strength reversed. He just didn't want to work that hard for it. And that I think is his daughter. He did it to, promote what his daughter does. This is not the first time he's done something slick under the table and gotten away, but he got away with it. So this time he had no problem diving in with the dark money and how we're going to plan this through. It's the 3 of Pentacles. So those are the cards from the past that set it all up. Then he got caught with the 7 of Swords reversed, which means his theft was found. That's, where you're stealing things from the camp. When it's reversed, you got caught at the end of the camp.
Yeah, right.
And he wasn't thinking at all. I mean, he could have found another way to do this. This is going to even hurt him worse next month. This is 10 of Wheel of Fortune, and October is going to be a really rough month for him over this. And Justice is not going to smile kindly on him. I don't think he's going to jail or anything about it like tomorrow, but the rule, how people view this is not going to be fair. It's going to really change the universe's opinion of him. It's dumping out any of the good karma he'd built up to this point. And he's going to have to take a nice, interesting ride, balance his life to get back. So he's going to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, he already took a hit amongst Democrats after he was found golfing with 45. But yeah, I'm in an agreement. It's more of the people that were involved of taking the money, the responsibility people. But as far as Brett, he's going to be on a rehab tour and just cooperate completely. Otherwise, he could be in trouble. But yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, who he was, is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
That circle of life is going to come around. He did something really dumb, and now he's in that moment of face palming himself. And how do I get out of this? How do I change? But there's a heavy burden there on him. Anxieties, and what did I do? He's all, oh my God, that kind of thing. But then I have the money man, the people. I have a man and a woman involved in this situation. So I'm guessing this would be the governor, some other woman involved in the process, and they're going to have a tower moment. And I see prison for them. Those people involved up there. But Brett's going to be losing some money, though.
Mm-hmm.
I have poverty, the devil. I say I have poverty in here. And it feels like the King of Wands being more of upside down for him. That. But it can also mean reinventing yourself, like you said, too.
But the other part, don't you think if you're a decent person trying to put together a legitimate financial situation, you're not going to go play with someone who's got a reputation for paying fast and loose?
Yeah. Blessings.
Ian McGrath, I don't know. We could return that question back to you. Why do you guys put the day before the month when you write out dates? But it's just Americans do things backwards sometimes, and we view it as Europeans doing it backwards or other parts of the world. But I still love you. I think Scotland's wonderful, even if you don't know what day it is.
And then blessings Anne and blessings Sanal. I'm sorry if I destroyed your name, but blessings for the donation. I heard nothing about Trump. I don't think Trump was invited. I think Biden and Jill just left.
I think, yeah, they're the only two going. They're not even taking
Trump wasn't invited.
Or the Bushes.
I don't think Obama was even invited. I think it's just Biden and Jill was leaving. Yeah. What does that mean, Wolfpack? Who are we talking about? Investigation for text messages. If it was Favre, he was texting someone a long time ago. Or he's talking. I think it was a woman he was actually texting. That
okay.
But
why does the mainstream media favor the GOP over Biden?
I know it's kind of weird with CNN lately. They're kind of
they're changing. They're trying. Fox's viewership is going to die when they finally uncover all the crap about Trump. Someone has to be there to swoop up that audience. That's what they're doing. Take this from a person who used to work in that world and count noses and toes and who watches what. But why does the mainstream media pick? Because they know, first of all, they know that the vast majority of Americans do not want Trump. I mean, his following is shrinking. But they're hoping by making you afraid. You got to realize a lot of news it used to be if it bleeds, it leads. The more gruesome it is, the more they want to play it up. That was true for old yellow press. That's true for newspapers. That's true for newsreels. They really want to scare you because we have for our own survival as a species, we have a much higher level of response to fear than we do to absolute warm love because we don't expect that. But fear can make us come back tomorrow. Oh my God, what happened? So I need to go see tomorrow whether this is going on or that's going on. So that's why they're doing that. If they And the other thing is, I think they're doing, quite honestly, they're doing Biden a favor by telling people that, because now he's broken through in the polls. They're not polling him as low because they've quit doing so much push polling. Actually, I heard on a couple shows, Stephanie Rule, who's on it in the middle of the night, who I do watch, but I watch her the next morning. She was doing a lot of pushing back. She was starting to talk to pollsters and look at how they were aggregating their numbers. And as soon as they really started looking at that, Biden's numbers started going up again, because they can push poll you and ask you a question that they can then rate that's against Biden instead of for Biden. And unless you know how to read polling questions, if you just answer them quickly, you're not going to catch it. I answer every pollster that calls me. They call me all the time because I'm in their favorite demographic, little old white lady in the South. Really true. And I've actually had one place that's called me 3 times, and I said, do you not know you're calling me again? But if you listen to their questions, they will push you, do you think the government should tell you to do da 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 da? And they'll aggregate those against points against Biden or points for the other guys. Anyway, polling is a mess unto itself. And once people really started to follow and understand polls, then they really got in the business of screwing them up. And I used to have to write polling questions to see how my candidates were doing. I had very few chances to poll.
Yeah. I've never been called either, but if they're still doing home phones, that's an issue.
I don't do home. They call me on my cell phones, and they even call me on. I have a cell phone that's like a business only cell phone, and that one nobody has unless I've given it to them because I need them to respond to me as Nancy Jean Scarden. And you do get paranoid in politics. Anyway, so I have this one special phone, and I've gotten called on that. And of course, you can't trust any poll that you see that's generated off the internet, because that's why, it was subtle but new. I do like to watch some reality TV. I like So You Think You Can Dance, because I've never been able to dance, and I totally admire the art form. And they now only has its studio audience vote that's actually there in the studio, because they figured out people were jamming the phones and screwing them up and setting things up so their votes were not legitimate anymore. So when they came back this time, they said, nope, you got to be here in the audience. Now that certainly picks a favorite audience, but to me, if I was a competitor, that would seem much more fair.
Right. New reporting here. I guess there's a thing in DC where all the provided some ceremony, so that would make sense.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear about that, but that would make sense out of respect. But I don't think he would go. Yeah, pretty much. I had that feeling too. I don't think 45 can leave country.
No.
Like Manafort tried to leave. Where do you think you're going?
And we have all 5 of your passports.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, generally polls are close, but I think you can sway 5 points either way with a poll.
But you can also do stuff with people's heads about saying Biden's got the lowest poll number since God was born.
Yeah.
And and there's only one poll that counts. What you think, and when you track it into the polling place and you vote. And any friends, like I said, your 5 best friends. I had a friend who trapped people at a dinner party in early voting, put them in a van, and made them go vote before you feed them. I mean, I'm not into that, but it's a thought.
I forgot what we were talking about, what I threw cards on.
Well,
I think you talked about it, but then we went on to polls.
Okay.
I forgot what I brought up, but anywho. Fudge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mastriano's from New Jersey too. Thank you, New Jersey. I'm sure if I lived in Pennsylvania, I'd love you.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Beto's in Corpus Christi
Oh,
today.
I remember now. It was CNN. I threw on.
Oh yeah, about them.
I
Yeah.
threw on CNN. Why are they doing that? And it's weird. But it's like they're firing decent. They're releasing decent newscasters.
Mm-hmm.
I never did read it. I thought I seen Don Lemon was leaving too or something.
Yeah, Don's been pissing them off for a while. They're more
That's
conservative. I think he's a great reporter.
Yeah. I don't know, because it's like there's with the new ownership, it feels like there's dissension. It feels willing, actually. These people leaving are actually feel willing. So we got new leadership here, infighting, and there's some kind of love. It's like what we've done in the past, and there's infighting with the change. So it feels like these guys are actually leaving because they kind of want to, because they won't
play their game.
They won't play the game of the new guy.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to land on their feet. The new leadership feels like I'm sensing mystery more so than anything, but some reason they think this is a better path. Maybe they can get cheaper anchors or something, but money path, but this is a mystery. And then moving forward with a different strength. I also got Six of Swords moving forward, but it's like painful endings in a different energy. It's confusing to me why they're doing this.
Okay, I got that. It's the Three of Pentacles. It's all about the money. They want to get a bigger slice of the market. They want to build into a bigger slice of the market. They see themselves as being honorable and fighting for justice. That's what they think. And that's what they're going to try to make their star. But they're really very confused because they felt left out in the cold. They felt like they were not achieving what they needed to. It's Five of Pentacles. And where they want to be is the great new innovators of how news is handled. And remember, they were vilified worse than MSNBC by Trump from the podium, and they want to sweep up those people that are sitting at home watching the news. I hate to tell them, they're not going to get, my opinion. Look, I mean, first of all, I never watch Fox News. I never watch Fox News.
I don't.
I see Fox News is occasionally on MSNBC. They say, we're going to show you this so you understand what's out there. And I fast forward through that stuff as fast as I can. And I know that's really wrong, and I should be a grown-up and look at the other side. But guess what? I made it to 73. I've seen enough of the other side. I know what it looks like. It looks like a giant butt. So I'm not going there anymore.
I catch some clips once in a while just to hear the derangement, but that's about it.
Yeah, I guess my psychic Addie and Frank must go out working overtime finding out how deranged they are. But CNN's going to try to go there, and I think it's going to hurt them.
Okay. Don Lemon's doing a morning show. I didn't catch the clip. I mean, he was talking about something about leaving, but it must have been a show. But like I said, it'd be insane to all these people that put so much hard work into creating who they were. Jesse Waters, he looks like he's done some bad things every time you look at him. But it just makes no sense why they're changing. It might be a money-saving gag and then rebrand, but even Jake Tapper was like, I think it was Jake. Is that his name?
Yeah, Jake's raised an eye at this. He's like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. So it's time to shut her down. We've been on here a long time. I'm just going to pull a message card.
Okay. I'll pull from today's favorite oracle deck.
Cool.
That's right, guys. Look at how earlier some of your voting starts as early as late September. So,
Yeah, I can't remember. I know they changed it during the COVID 2020, where you can vote early 10 days, but I think it may have went back. That was only an emergency, so you could spread out people going into the voting booth.
I can find out for you really quickly.
I mean, I can find out, too, but but I think they changed the rules. Like, well, they removed all the drop boxes. Now you have to only go to one place, kind of thing. Fools. Seven of Michael. Weird. So I randomly pulled 2 cards, and I got this gifted deck. It's like the Angels Tarot. So it's Knight of Gabriel, but it's Knight of Wands, I think. Knight of Gabriel and 7 of Michael. So it's 7 of Wands, and it's an action card. It's either swords. I think it's swords. It's kind of a confusing message what it's trying to tell me, but it's like, don't take in misinformation. With the 7 of Wands, it's like working on progress of any issues in your life, but you don't want to go backwards. Stand confident and enthusiastic and courageous in your own intuition. But it's also about review. So it's like, take that action, but don't jump before you leap. Kind of feeling. So that's what it's telling me. I mean, be courageous, but don't jump off the cliff without analyzing where you're going. That's what it's telling me today, anyway.
Well, my card is this beautiful one, and it's just...
Oh, I love it.
Reflection of your soul is the art of forgiving. And so I think we need to reflect on how each of us have played a part in how things have come to happen, because, I used to pass on every snarky Facebook post I could about certain people. And I realized that was not helpful. That was not improving the dialogue, That's playing.
It's a tough thing, when people upset us. You see a Facebook post or even a Twitter post, you want to put on there, oh, this guy is such a clown, how can he be real? You can throw it out there, if you're feeling it at the moment, but remember to release it. We're all souls playing a plan, playing a role in a movie. And deep down, even 45 has a pure soul of love and light. His mind got in the way. So don't stay in that anger, that frustration. Oh, he hasn't been indicted yet, whatever the case may be. Love, light, justice will come out. The Wheel of Fortune, things will get better at the certain time, at the right time. So don't stay in that anger. Things piss me off. Things piss me off. It's like, oh my God, how can this guy have all this stuff on his truck, all these Trump stickers and flags, and be comfortable waving around town? And it's like, I'll just throw him a face palm and say, love and light to your soul. Find the truth, and then move on. So just don't let it upset you. That's all it is. And this is a fun show. hanging out with you guys and Nancy.
Yep.
But
And
remember
if
love. Remember to be
yep.
happy. That's the best
And
thing.
what else do you have going this week, Scott?
Tuesday with Val and
Mm-hmm.
Gaetz, doing a show on Tuesday every week.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual or more political news of the day, whatever, and just hang out again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Wednesday, going on Heather's channel. She wants to look into a mystery. And that's all I got right now.
Okay.
And
Well,
I'll have some videos I have coming up. I'm gonna be posting randomly throughout the week.
yeah.
Surprises. But
Just
as far as lives, yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday.
okay. I'm
And you
got
like the 9 candles.
my candles are at
You like
6 p.m. every day between now and Saturday. And we're discussing ley line and earth energetics. And I've got 7 of them already taped. And I'm waiting on a person in South Africa, which, guys, you have no idea. We think it's bad timing it out, so we get together on Sunday morning. You ought to try getting in touch with South Africa at a reasonable
I bet you.
time. But yeah, but anyway, hopefully I'm going to meet with Johan. If not, I have backups, and my closeout show is going to be with Intuitive View. I've got Danny tonight, Danny Shea, Sheila the next day, Andrea the next day, Kim Copeland, Medium Kim the next day, Dr. Gale the next day, Kelly from Dozen Cats, healing on the 7th day. The 8th day is either Johan or Jeffrey and myself or something. And then the 8th day is Kim Carey. So, and they're all at 6 o'clock. If you join my channel, which is Nancy Jean's Garden, you can you're on your computer already, just jump right over there and subscribe. Then you'll get notices every day. But last night we had about 65 people at 6 o'clock on the first day. I thought that was pretty good. And I think something like over 300 have watched it now. People watch my 9 candles, and you can start on day 1 and just go through. You can hop in on a day and see what we're up to. Each person that speaks brings their own private perspective on what we're kind of talking about. And I didn't think Scott and I need to see each other's smiling faces any more than we already do. Somebody said, Scott's not on your list. I said, Scott's on my list every Sunday morning. Thank you.
I know. It's a scandal I've been on your last 2 9 candles, so it's a scandal.
Yeah, you've been on them before. It's just, people I'm around regularly. It's like Jeffrey he said, well, if you get a day that you don't have anybody, I'll hop on, kind of thing. So anyway, I look forward to you coming there. We are in the middle of a major, major shift, and it's going to carry. Oh, also on the 20th of June, I'm doing a live at 2 p.m. with Anne Perry, who's a numerologist. She's a Canadian numerologist. She's going to discuss a really interesting subject that for anybody who's here watching this, she's going to talk about how the numerology plays out from this month until the end of the year. And it's what they call the shoulder of the year. And it's when we switch from being in a 6-year, 2022, if you add the digits up, means 6. We're going to a 7-year next year. And she's going to talk about the power and the influences and how that will change for us. And she's really an excellent numerologist in that she doesn't just talk hard numbers. She's an intuitive numerologist. So I think she's somebody that you would enjoy seeing. That will be on my channel on the 20th, which is Tuesday, I think.
Yes. Yeah, it's fascinating how other people have, their own perspective and perfection of things. And it's great to have another advice or perspective of life.
Yeah, and it teaches us how we really are part of a one. We are part of the one, and we all have our different ways we see into the one. So I look forward to seeing you, and go visit Scott's doing great stuff with past lives. One of my favorite subjects too. So
fascinating. Love to all. Thank you for joining me.
Bye.
Bye.